Hello, good morning, and welcome to Make It Happen Monday, where we are interviewing yet another speaker in our Speaker Spotlight interview series for our upcoming Live2Lead event in Atlanta, Georgia on November 15th at MODEx Studio. I'm so excited to be here again this week with another rock star speaker, MC, and media and PR leader, Rachel Weaver. And before I bring Rachel up to stage so that you can hear from her and she can share a lot of value, let me tell you a little bit about my lovely and accomplished friend, Rachel Weaver. So Rachel is a multi-talented entrepreneur with expertise in business, communications, and psychology. She is the founder and CEO of Amplify and Impact Global, a keynote speaker, MC, and red carpet interview host. Rachel helps entrepreneurs and business owners become market celebrities with the tagline, "Start unknown, finish unforgettable." Her background in mental health enhances her speaking engagements. With global living experience, Rachel offers a deep understanding of diverse business cultures. She has ventured into film production and also has an upcoming book. Featured in Business Insider, Bloomberg, and more, she was named one of the top 100 entrepreneurs of 2023 and 2024 by Global Woman magazine. So I am so excited to welcome my friend, Rachel Weaver. Rachel, good morning.
Good morning. Hello, Stephanie. So happy to be here with you.
I am so glad to have you here, Rachel, and thank you for saying yes when I asked you to be part of Live2Lead. You have been such a wonderful supporter over the last several years since we met and became fast friends the first time we met. And I am just so thankful to have you as a friend and to collaborate with you, and especially happy to have you as part of Live2Lead and joining us today. So thank you again for saying yes.
Oh, thank you. It's an honor.
Thank you, Rachel. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions. And first, I'd love for you to tell everybody about your session topic for Live2Lead, which is happening November 15th, and more about your area of influence as a leader.
Oh, thank you so much. So I am going to be talking a lot about the power of relationships in my Live2Lead section, but also I'm going to be taking a really deep dive into the importance of branding yourself with credibility, no matter what market or niche you are in. And so those two kind of intertwine with each other, because I tell everyone that it is not about who you know in business. It's about who knows you, and who knows you and is willing to speak on your behalf when you are not in the room.
I absolutely love that, Rachel. And it's so important, isn't it? And I think back to when we met, which was 3 years ago, in next month, I guess. And one of the things that made such an impact on me was being at that event and seeing and experiencing firsthand exactly what you just said, right? It's not about who you know, but it's about who knows you. And both really go hand in hand, because business is all about relationships, as you mentioned. So how do you create those relationships, and how do you, go from unknown to unforgettable, right? Something that John Maxwell talks about, who obviously is going to be one of our highlighted global thought leaders at Live2Lead, is he talks to people about getting out of the people pile. So very aligned with what you just said, but how do you get yourself out of the people pile? Meaning, how do you differentiate yourself with people? And it's about creating those relationships so that you can be unforgettable by being your unique, authentic self. Love that so much.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I love that, Stephanie. It really is the key to everything. I tell people, what sets you apart? What are your unique quirks that we can really help identify you as a standout? Because no matter what market or industry you are in, chances are there are quite a few other people who are doing something similar or the same thing as you. So we have to pull out your strengths and your unique qualities and amplify those so that you can be seen.
Absolutely, 100%. So my next question for you is, why was it important for you to participate in this event?
There's a couple of reasons. The first reason is this beautiful soul named Stephanie Puryear Helling. I honestly would do anything to support Stephanie in any way, shape, or form, because I've not only had the opportunity to be blessed enough to call her a friend, but I have also seen her work ethic. We have worked on projects together. I have seen the way that she delivers above and beyond on the stage, off of the stage, in her workplace, but also in her life. The relationships that she has built with myself and other people, as I've watched her blossom and grow over the last couple of years since leaving corporate world, stepping into the entrepreneurial world. It is not a cakewalk like everyone thinks it is. And she does the work. So for me, anytime I can be there to support a friend and someone that I highly respect in the business world, I'm absolutely honored to do so.
Warms my heart. Thank you so much. And, I'm laughing because that is very similar response to what Dr. Debbie said and what Melissa said and what Angel said last week. And I am just so honored, humbled, and incredibly thankful to have you in my life, to have Dr. Debbie in my life, to have Melissa in my life, to have Angel in my life. It means the world to me. So thank you so much, Rachel, for saying yes, and not only believing in me, but most importantly, believing in what we're trying to do here, right? And so our theme for this leadership and personal growth event day on November 15th is bringing people together in a world that divides. And I chose that theme. I didn't come up with it. It's not my brainchild, but that is the theme of John Maxwell's most recent book, High Road Leadership. And I will be doing a mastermind on that starting in January. But it's such an important message. And it's truly one that the world is hungry for and needs right now, particularly with, our political environment this year, but also over the last 4 years of everything that's gone on to sort of place division in the world and between people. We are really more alike than we are different. We need to recognize one another's differences and appreciate those. And recognize other people's thoughts. But at the same time, if we all focus on bringing people together in a world that divides, then how much more powerful will we be at home, in our local communities, in our broader communities and sphere of influence, and throughout the world? And I truly believe the world is hungry for this. And so putting together this event and bringing together leaders from different, organizations, our goal is to not just fill their cup that day, right? But to have them go back out in the world, in their communities, where they have a sphere of influence, and for leaders to continue to develop other leaders and to continue to spread that message of bringing people together in a world that divides. So thank you again for saying yes and being a part of this. And, obviously I asked you and Melissa and Debbie and Angel to be involved because you're my friends and I respect you. But also, if you think about what each of you do to leverage your unique gifts, it's completely aligned with what our goal is for this conference, right? Bringing people together in a world that divides. I mean, you exemplify that in how you show up in the world and who you are as a human being. So thank you again for saying yes. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Oh, it means so much to me. I am beyond thrilled to be here with all of you and to be attending this event, Live2Lead, which I hope everyone watching today will be sure to get their tickets because you don't want to miss out. I cannot say enough about the theme, bringing people together in a world that divides. I believe there's no better time for an event like this. It's going to be super powerful and impactful. And obviously, it ties right into everything that I speak about with relationships, because really and truly, at the end of the day, when you strip away everything else, what we have is each other. And we get so caught up in our differences of opinions, which are oftentimes led through media and the news, unfortunately, instead of factual statements. But then we're just so divided because of that. So when we can stand up and understand the meaning of relationships and understand where other people are coming from, we can show up with love and support and come together as community the way that the world and God, and forgive me, but the way God intended. And so I cannot wait for this event. It's going to be truly so extraordinary. And I'm such a firm believer that you really, truly can change your life from one statement that you hear at an event or from one relationship that you make at an event can be life-changing.
Absolutely, 100%. I could not agree more. So, kind of building upon that, Rachel, can you tell us a core leadership principle for you?
A core leadership, I'm sorry, it cut out on my end a little bit.
What's a core leadership principle that you have, that you subscribe to, that you can share with others?
So a core leadership principle that I truly stand behind through and through and through is showing up for my team with integrity, loyalty, and transparency. And with a level of open, honest, understanding communication. I know that's a lot all tied into one, but I really believe that those things are the core to any successful business.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I think, integrity is tied to loyalty, right? Because without integrity, you're not going to build loyalty with people. And I think integrity is directly tied to transparency, being honest with people, particularly when going through times that are tough, times that are difficult in terms of change, and communicating sometimes messages that are difficult for people to receive and difficult for you to share with them. But having that transparency as part of the process builds that trust and loyalty, and it points directly back to your integrity as a leader, right? I love that. That's so important, because if we don't communicate in a transparent manner, which happens with leaders oftentimes, they're afraid. There's fear involved. If I say this, or if I talk about something that, the outcome isn't exactly as we had hoped, or it's really difficult, if I address the difficult things, that's uncomfortable for them, right? So oftentimes leaders maybe won't communicate and be as transparent as they could be, not realizing that when they're not transparent, people are going to make up their own stories. And then it ends up being worse when people are going through change, right? And so, I think of leaders that have made the most positive impact on my life or in my career over the years. And the ones that I respected the most were not the ones who were always motivating and happy, although those are good components, right? But the ones that also were brave enough to talk about the hard truth, but they're like, this is tough. This is what's happening, but I'm right here with you in the trenches, and I'm going to be that beacon that helps to lead the way forward. So I love this so much.
I do too. It's so true. When we show up, and then the team members that you have, they feel like you truly care about them. And I believe that when we step forward and we show our team that we care, just like you said, it builds strength in the team when you show up transparently and you're honest about things. I believe that that's what builds long-lasting team cultures and entrepreneurs, for people who will stay with you through the highs and the lows of business, and they're in it for the long haul. So that is always the goal. That should be always the goal, because when that happens, that's when you can grow and scale beyond your wildest dreams and expectations. When you build that tight, strong culture of team members who believe that they are an entrepreneur in the business, they really have a stake in what you are trying to build, you can then be unstoppable no matter what market or industry you're in.
Absolutely. And, I think transparency ultimately points back to building trust, which is that core foundational principle of teams. Angel and I were talking last week, and I had just come off facilitating a leadership workshop for a client, and we focused on the 5 dysfunctions of a team and how to go from dysfunction to function, right? And at the base, at the core, is trust. And without building that foundation of trust, you really can't go anywhere else as a team, right? And if you look at the studies that Gallup has done on employee engagement and the 4 things that team members need the most, trust is at the foundation of that as well, right? So, what you're talking about points directly back to building that trust by being transparent, and by building trust by being transparent. That's where you build that lasting team culture of loyalty. Absolutely love it. Okay, so we lost Rachel for just a moment, but I want to show you guys a video that'll tell you a little bit more about Live2Lead, and we're going to pull that up here in just a moment.
John C. Maxwell is a #1 New York Times bestselling author and Horatio Alger Award winner. 4-time Olympian Shantae Lowe is a world record-holding high jumper and gold medalist who has inspired millions with her story on platforms like ESPN and the O Network. Michael Jr. brings laughter and encouragement to audiences all over the world as he inspires audiences to discover and activate their purpose. John Gordon has written 15 bestsellers, including The Energy Bus, The Power of Positive Leadership, and The Carpenter. His clients include several NFL, NBA, and MLB coaches and championship teams. Additional speakers may be international speaker and author Valerie Burton, Chris Robinson, who leads a team of more than 50,000 speakers trainers and coaches worldwide. Malcolm Gladwell, who has been called one of the 100 most influential people in the world by Time magazine. Or serial entrepreneur and business expert Brandon Dawson.
All right, so there's a highlight reel about our event. So in addition to hearing from the fabulous Rachel Weaver, Angel Santiago, Melissa D. White, and Dr. Debbie Phillips, you will hear from John Maxwell, John Gordon, Shantae Lowe, and Michael Jr. During this one-day event on November 15th. It is going to knock your socks off. Okay, so Rachel, kind of building upon what we were talking about, what impact do you hope to see from this event?
There's so many things, but I will say the number one thing that I hope to see is truly real relationships being built that transpire into something so beautiful that changes other people's lives. My goal for me personally is to make a positive impact, even on one person in the audience who really takes action from this event and comes back to us in 6 months and says, Stephanie, because of your event, because of what I heard from the speakers, I am now doing this in my life, and it's transpired into so much financial abundance and relational abundance in my personal life. That's my goal.
Absolutely, 100%. And, you know, John talks about all the time, if you cannot focus on impacting one, then you're not going to be able to impact many, right? And so I love that. And, you know, we're going to go make an impact. And isn't that the most rewarding thing when someone comes back to you and says, you know, I heard this one thing. This was my takeaway, and this clicked for me. And this is how this made a difference in my life. And that's really why we do what we do, isn't it? Being people of value who value others, who add value to them. I love that, Rachel. So speaking of adding value, and that was our JMT, John Maxwell Team DNA, by the way, being a person of value who values others and brings value to them. What value will you bring to leaders to take back to their teams?
Well, Stephanie, I hope to bring value in a few different areas. I hope to bring value to teach people how to cultivate stronger, long-lasting relationships, and to also understand the importance of pulling out their unique strengths so that instead of being self-conscious about those, they can learn to embrace those, put those forward, and help themselves stand out from the crowd so that they can become the celebrity in their market or niche. So no matter what event is taking place, no matter what business meeting is happening, when somebody speaks about needing help in your particular area of expertise, instantly you are brought up and spoken highly of. That is my ultimate goal, is to help you understand how to go from unknown to unforgettable so that people are saying your name and speaking of you in such a glorifying way that you have no choice but to build the most unique, incredible brand that lasts as long as you choose.
I absolutely love it, Rachel. That is so great. And you are going to bring such value to every single person who shows up in the room that day. I cannot wait. So my last question for you, speaking of our theme, right? Bringing people together in a world that divides. How do you bring people together in a world that divides?
Well, I love to bring people together. I'm a true giver by heart. I am very much a people person. I love being with people. I love showing up and serving people and knowing that I'm adding value and making a positive impact on their lives. It's just a nurture type of personality trait that I have. I love to nurture people. And so I truly, truly believe that for me, bringing people together by hosting different events, by planning different things, and by truly taking the time to taproot into understanding and getting to know people. So really, I don't know if anyone's heard of the term taprooting, but it helps you to be able to not only get to know that person, but build so much trust that then they're also introducing you to their connections and their community because you have invested into them enough to where they have trust you. So my goal is always to build those deep relationships and to allow others to understand the importance of taking the time to invest in really building the relationship. I know we talk a lot about sales. You don't need to spend that much time. You can just go in for the sale. But I believe that the relationship should come first.
100%. Could not agree more.
The person should come first so that they genuinely feel like you're there to add value to their life and to share with them what it is you have to offer versus selling to them. And when you follow up and you're genuine and you really care about people, they're going to feel that.
Absolutely. And nobody likes to be sold to, but everybody likes to buy, right? And when you choose to make a decision to do business with someone or to become friends with someone or to collaborate with someone, it's all about that likability factor. And business is relational. Everything in this world is built on relationships, right? And it's about know, like, and trust. And it has to go in that order. I could not agree with you more. So great. So that's it for my questions. But before we wrap this up, is there anything that I haven't asked you that you'd love to share with our listeners? And can you tell them why do they need to make being in the room for this event on November 15th a priority? Why should they do that?
Well, I'm just going to dive right in because what I want to share is all the reasons that they should be there. So that's what I'm going to dive into. Events have changed my life. They changed the trajectory of my life. I started attending events at a pretty young age in high school because I had a mentor, by the grace of God, who invited me to my first personal development event when I don't even know if it was even really a thing back then. But I was taken to an event and I was so incredibly inspired by everything that I was hearing, all the positivity. I was hungry for that kind of energy that I wanted to be around. And it was that event that led me to wanting to continue to do more and speak and learn how to speak and learn how to share and give and serve from any platform. Of course, back then it was only physical stages. We didn't have all of this Zoom or virtual stages. So today we have actually more opportunities and more options. However, we know through lots of research, we were meant to have human connection together, not through technology, right? By design, we can connect with people on a deeper level when we are with them physically, because you can actually feel their energy when you are in the room with others. And so I just want to share with others that by attending this event, I know what these speakers are going to bring. I know the incredible tips and tools that you're going to learn to be able to go home, implement, and truly transform whatever area of your life you are looking to grow and expand in. I know personally, I'm going to be sharing some of my biggest tips that people pay a lot of money to work with me one-on-one for. And I'm going to be offering all of these for you guys for free at this event. And I know some of the other speakers are going to be doing the same thing, because really we are in a time where we need to show up, connect with others, and help each other in bigger ways than ever before. And so I would just love to end the year of 2024 by giving and serving and building a bigger, broader, wider community of people that can work together and start planning our 2025 to be the most successful year of our life. So if you are in the room in November at Live2Lead conference, I guarantee you are going to learn tips and tools that will elevate you and start you off just the way you should be in 2025 for success.
Awesome, Rachel. People can't afford to not be in the room. They are going to get so much value from you and Angel and Melissa and Dr. Debbie. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here with me today, for participating in this event and making a positive impact in the world and bringing people together in a world that divides. So thank you all for joining us today. Today's session has been sponsored by Amplify and Impact Global, and Rachel Weaver is the CEO. Reminder, early bird tickets are still available, but today is the last day of September. So you need to get your early bird tickets now, because prices will go up in October. So definitely take advantage of that. We do still have a few sponsorship opportunities available. So if you're interested in partnering with us and being a part of this incredible event, making a difference in the world, reach out to me and I'll tell you all about it. You can see the URL scrolling across the screen. So that's our URL to purchase tickets. Definitely do that today. And thank you all again for joining us on this Make It Happen Monday. Go out, make it happen. Into September with a bang. Get your Live2Lead tickets and be in the room. Rachel, thank you so much. I love you dearly.
Oh, thank you so much, Stephanie. You guys do not have FOMO. Do not have fear of missing out, because you will if you don't get your ticket. I can't wait to hug you in person in November. Can't wait to see you all there.